We know one thing, the kids that come to camp tonight are mentally tough, that's for sure, where they've been hanging out inside. But yeah, it's really good to come down here. We appreciate the folks from Valley being so great to open up the stadium again. They've been great every year we've come down here. Ivy also kicked in to make this event come off tonight, so appreciate that. I think the autograph session went well, and we thought we had about 100 young guys still hanging around for the camp tonight, so that'll be fun for our guys to be involved. They enjoyed all of it, and got a little work done as well. So we're about 2/3 of the way done with spring practice, half the way done with pads, and we're making strides. It's never pretty this time of year. That's certainly the case right now. But I think we see some guys improving, and certainly anxious to see how things go the next 6 practices. I'll throw it out for questions.
Kirk, how is CJ look so far?
Yeah, pretty good. It's tough. You're going against your own defense, and they know the offense moves better than the offense sometimes. So, but he's doing well. He's better physically, not 100%, but close. And I think he's done a lot of good things. And we got confidence he'll play real well next year.
How about the guys he's throwing to? You got to fill some holes there a little bit.
Yeah, that's a big area for development. That's right now big loss with Devon and also Jake Hillier. So. And then, Henry Krieger-Koval very quietly had not a good year, a really good year. Played extremely well. So it's kind of representative of our whole team. We lost a really good group of seniors that not only played a lot of snaps, but also did a lot of good things on the field leadership-wise. But I think the receiver core is coming. We still have work to do for sure.
What's the biggest thing from this time last year to now? The biggest thing you've noticed with this group? I mean, it's a different group, but can you see any growth from how you guys finished last season?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's we felt a year ago that we had a chance to have a good football team, but we also knew we had a lot of things to work on, a lot of room for improvement, and that's really kind of where we're at right now. And there have been some years where that wasn't the case, but usually we feel like we have a chance to have a good team, and it's a matter of how the team comes together and how we can build things. And right now, spring is never a pretty time of year when you watch the team. Just overall, there's always some stuff that has to be addressed, but the guys are working hard, and hopefully we can continue to improve.
Has there been with today's NCAA taking away the satellite camps? This is still in, right? I mean, this is something you want to continue, and I think would still be legal.
Yeah, I think this is still legal.
Yeah,
I think it's just camps not moving spring ball, but yeah, they may make you stay in state one of these days. I don't know. That might be on the docket one of these near meetings. But yeah, this is something we want to do. It's just a chance for us to come to Central Iowa, not only to say thank you to the people in this area, the immediate area, but also Western Iowa. I know there's some people that drove over from Western Iowa tonight. So, they come to Kinnick very faithfully 7 times a year, and they've done that for a long, long time. And it's a good change of pace for our players too. And then we added the opportunity this time to interface with some young fans, which to me kind of ties in. It's amazing when I travel around the state, and it's been this way for the last 17 years. The iClub circuit, I can't tell you how many people I've met that tell me they started coming to games when they were little kids with either a mom, dad, or a grandparent, that type of thing. So there's a real family atmosphere aspect, I guess, to Iowa football. And this is just one way for us maybe to say thank you that way and try to follow up on that thing.
The other thing they did is now you can have unlimited texting and social media. I know maybe that's not your forte, but is there any concerns with that? Because now you just bombard a kid with emails or social media.
Yeah, it's funny. I was asking some of the coaches that in the locker room before we came out. Pretty much all that stuff's been legal except for the texting. So, with tweeting right now, it's basically the same thing. So I don't know how much it's going to change the world. The basketball guys have already been doing it for several years now. So, it's just kind of gotten to the point where there's that ability to have contact with prospects pretty much nonstop. So it's pretty much, I think, up to the prospect to try to control it now.
Josh Jackson was out there the first unit. I know with May been out. Wearing a red jersey, so he's been kind of dinged up and coming into camp. How do you feel about his performance? Some good things.
Josh has done some good things. He has not been able to work. We have pads on. He can't do any of the contact stuff. But like tonight, he's able to get in there, and it's good. It keeps him active. He's a young guy that we think he has promise, and this gives him a chance to really grow and make some progress. So it's not quite the same as seeing him full scale, but it's been good for him. I think he's made growth. That's one positive thing I've seen. A lot of the younger guys that haven't played yet, we're seeing growth with all that group. So we're going to need it. We're going to need it because of the seniors graduating.
expectations change so much for one position as the offensive line. Last year, you think back in the spring game, people wonder if you could block anybody, and now it's pretty tough.
Yeah, even in August, I was wondering too. We had a little bit of an issue there in that open practice, but yeah, we feel better. We have more experience now, certainly in the offensive line. But the thing that's interesting, we've got a lot of new players, if you will, up there with Boonmeyer playing guard. Sean Welsh slid into the center position. Keegan Render playing the right guard spot. So, it's still it's been a work in progress too. And 2 weeks ago, it didn't look very good at all, quite frankly. So they're making progress, and I think we'll have a chance to be decent up there once we get started.
I imagine there's no news on the block front.
Yeah, the only thing I'm happy to say this, I think we're probably one conversation away from at least wrapping this thing up. I don't know when that conversation is going to take place. That's a good news, bad news part of the whole thing. But at least we're getting closer, and we need to, because Drew's got, he's got a life he's got to live here too, and this is a big month for him if the ruling doesn't go his way. So hopefully we'll know here within the week.
Kirk, going back to the set.
Wisconsin at this point, because it's a big step. I think NFL teams kind of need to get to know.
Yeah, there's actually a combine recheck here coming up at the end of next week. So, for him to go to that, I understand he'd have to pay all his expenses, that type of thing. I just, it's been a long time. They need to let him know what the situation is, so he can just have some peace of mind on what he's going to do. It's going to work out either way.
Right.
Just wish it could move a little quicker. I think we all do.
Going back to the satellite camps, do you feel one way or another about it? I know Coach Harbaugh has been the one that's maybe sparked this debate, and they're calling it the Harbaugh effect. Do you feel one way or another about it?
We've done them the last 2 years. Midwestern, just a chance to get out maybe and see more prospects. But me personally, I think I prefer it the way it just got passed today. I think, in my opinion, I think camps should be done on your campus. And I also think the next step is to just have them run by personnel from your university, people that actually work in your football department, period. So there are no third parties. We've seen that be a problem in other sports, and I think it's becoming an issue in football. And I think some schools are, I'm not going to say encouraging it, but they're, partaking in it. And I'm not sure that's healthy for our game, and I think we have to be really careful.
What's it like seeing the
Sean Welsh?
He's doing well. Probably saw a couple of snaps or low. It's not natural yet, but in 9 workouts, I think he's really done a good job. His head was spinning. First couple of workouts, you can only do so much sitting in a chair. You have to go out and do it, and then do it with people right in front of you, and that's a little bit tougher. But he's a really good football player. He's making the adjustment. I'm confident he'll be in really good shape here by August.
Is this something that's going to be permanent?
It could be. Yeah, I think we have to make sure we have our bases covered. And, if it proves out that James can come back, and we'll engage all that stuff in August. But I think we'd all feel better going into August, knowing that we've got a guy who's had some good experience at that position.
You like the flexibility there, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now you can guys play something.
He's played well at guard and tackle, and this won't set him back there. So the nice thing about him, he's a guy who really can float around and do about anything. So that makes us a better football team.
You mentioned Andy Guard, but he's played tackle, so there's another guy.
Yeah, we go into the year at least with 3 guys that have played tackle and played pretty well. So from last year, that's a big step forward for sure.
Hilton Brady Ross and kind of the depth of how's it
Now Brady, we don't have a Grant Steen Award for walk-ons, but I always go back to my first year. 99, Grant was that guy who was just a pain in the neck every day on the defensive scout team, and last year it was Brady Ross. He just had a great attitude, worked hard every day. He's one of those guys that stood out for good reasons, so we had a need at fullback, certainly talking about losing seniors, 2 guys that really played very well. So we thought he had a chance to go over there, and so far so good. He's really done a nice job.
Anthony Nelson was playing quite a bit at the end. Do you see, was Matt Nelson here today?
He's here. He picked up a little ankle sprain, so 2 days ago I think it was. Matt's doing a really nice job. So that's bad for us, but Matt was really practicing well. Now it gives Anthony a few more snaps.
He seems to have a nice burst off the edge.
He does. Yeah, we're really pleased. He's done a really nice job, and he's worked hard in the weight room. And he's just playing one sport now, which makes a big difference. He's got a great attitude. both Nelsons have had good springs, both Anthony and Matt.
Hey Kirk, is there a logical next step for Desmond King? Something that you specifically want to see from him?
Well, yeah, just it's like all of our experienced guys. You know, we're not going to have a good football team if those guys don't play better than they did a year ago. I said back, I think it was in January. You know, he may not show up statistically, but he can still lead better. He can still play with more precision. Every player can, and yeah, that's been his attitude. He's working hard, doing a good job. He's assumed the leadership role, which is really important for us too. Hopefully, he can do a good job in returns too.
Brandon Snyder, again, their free safety, is he showing anything?
Yeah, so far so good. You know, pretty much all the guys that are filling in for, you know, in the starting lineup right now that haven't played, they've looked good so far. But it's a long race and all that type of thing. But so far so good.
At this point in the spring, do you look at whether the offense is ahead of the defense or vice versa? Is that how you look at things or no?
You know, Tom worked at our clinic, and Tom's coached 37 years in the NFL now, and then he's about 14, 15 in college, plus coached in the Army. After that Saturday practice, he came over. He says, you know, one thing about spring ball, half the coaches are mad, half are sad, and then the head coach is always mad. You know, happy, sad, and, you know, the head coach is never happy. But anyway, it's just how spring ball goes. It kind of goes back and forth. One day, one group might look better, and then it goes the other way. So, but in general terms, usually the defense has a little bit better edge on things because, you know, recognition's a big part of defense, and they keep seeing the same stuff over and over.
When you look at your linebackers and you have a new guy there, so they don't look at the new boys. So what do you think so far with him?
You know, Seth's an excellent coach, and you know, when Coach Adazio called about Jim, my question for him was, how serious are you? And he said, I'm really serious. And I said, well, you should be, because Jim's an outstanding coach, and yeah, it's a chance for him to go back home. But I felt really good in the fact that we've got a guy who's done a great job. Seth has been a coordinator. He's done a great job with special teams, doing a great job with our recruiting. So, yeah, he's transitioned right in there and, you know, done a wonderful job too. So we got a good staff, and that gives him a chance to grow a little bit more. I think he's doing really well. I think the players are responding well. We're going to be just fine there.
You guys close to hiring director?
I'm hoping, you know, maybe by the end of next week, I think maybe we can get everybody in the right chairs and ready to roll.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.